Operation Thor was launched in 2015 by the Drugs and Organised Crime Bureau, Ireland's primary anti-gang unit, with the goal of destroying burglary groups. During this operation, a committed group of Garda officers used high-performance vehicles to pursue criminals. The team, who started off with 6 players, saw a significant improvement in 2016 when they added a silver Golf R to their lineup. This vehicle was notable as it had once belonged to Liam Byrne, a key player in the Byrne organised crime gang. In March 2016, during a raid on this gang, authorities confiscated 29 vehicles, including the notable Golf R. The Byrne Organised Crime Group, led by Liam Byrne, a prominent figure in Ireland's criminal underground, has connections to the Kinahan Cartel. Despite being involved in gang disputes, arms smuggling and drug trafficking, Byrne has never been imprisoned for his organised crime activities. Who is Liam Byrne, popularly known as Bugsy, and what made him a trustworthy member of the Kinahan organisation and one of Ireland's top criminals? Let's investigate this more. Liam Byrne was born in October 1980 and grew up in a family steeped in crime in Crumlin, southwest Dublin. James "Jaws" Byrne, his father, had a criminal past and was formerly connected to the notorious Robert Martin, the General Cahill. Sadie, Liam's mother, comes from the Rowe family, which has deep connections to the organised crime scene in Dublin. Liam utilised these relationships to advance in Dublin's criminal underworld, primarily through family ties, particularly with relatives such as Liam Brannigan, Liam Rowe, and Freddie Thompson. Of the 17 main members of his gang, 7 are first cousins of the Rowe family. Jaws owns the Byrne family's house in Crumlin, even though they don't have a reliable source of income. Authorities have seized money and goods from their home throughout the years, including a Rolex watch worth more than €35,000. Jaws has never disclosed how he became wealthy, even in spite of repeated seizures. Liam Byrne, recognized for his aggressive behavior since his early teenage years, became involved in drug trafficking and thefts alongside a group of teenage boys from Crumlin and Darndale. They obtained drugs from Christy Kinahan, who was active in both Ireland and the UK. At 17, Liam was given a suspended sentence for armed robbery, but later faced imprisonment for assaulting Trevor Donnelly with a baseball bat. Although he tried to persuade Donnelly's partner not to testify, she went ahead and was later attacked. Before Liam was imprisoned, his gang fractured after a Garda raid, resulting in a rivalry between different factions. During this turmoil, Dean Gavin, a close associate of Liam, was killed, and David Byrne, Liam's brother, testified against the killer, Brian Regan. When Liam was released from Mountjoy Prison in 2004, his former teenage gang had evolved into a significant drug trafficking operation under the leadership of Freddie Thompson, who received supplies from Christy Kinahan. Liam joined Kinahan in Spain, where he coordinated the shipment of drugs and weapons to Ireland, but returned home due to increased scrutiny from Spanish law enforcement. Once back in Ireland, Liam collaborated with Thompson to manage drug shipments from Kinahan, overseeing their distribution and debt collection. After Thompson left in 2007 to 2008 due to a conflict with the Irish National Liberation Army, Liam took over leadership of the gang, which was later identified by the Criminal Assets Bureau as the Byrne Organised Crime Group. They focused on monitoring the Kinahan Cartel's operations in Ireland for nearly 6 years. The gang's activities continued mainly unabated despite efforts by law enforcement, including drug seizures totaling more than €10 million, with drugs coming in from countries like Afghanistan, Morocco, and Colombia. The conflict escalated significantly in 2016 when Gary Hutch, who had previously been seen as Daniel Kinahan's trusted associate, turned against him, igniting a violent rivalry between the Kinahan and Hutch families. Gary was murdered in Spain in 2015, which prompted a retaliatory strike at Dublin's Regency Hotel during a boxing event that Daniel Kinahan and members of the Byrne group attended. In this attack, David Byrne, Liam's brother, was killed. The carefully orchestrated assault, carried out by at least 12 members of the Hutch gang, quickly heightened the conflict. Tragically, before David Byrne's funeral could take place, Eddie Hutch, Gary's uncle, was also shot dead. In the following 6 months, a wave of violence unfolded, with the Kinahan-Hutch feud, resulting in 18 fatalities so far. Liam's house, which he purchased in 2011 for €250,000 under his sister's name, was among the homes raided by the Garda a month after the Regency attack. The house had extensive renovations that cost €740,000, and it had opulent features like a home theatre, bar, gym, and jacuzzi. It was equipped with high-end security, including bulletproof windows, CCTV, and a room decorated with sports memorabilia, including signed jerseys and photos with celebrities like boxer Marvin Hagler. One of the rooms was designated for gang gatherings. Liam's car dealership, which was involved in the laundering of narcotics money, was shuttered after he was exposed as the leader of the Byrne crime group. Real properties, beautiful automobiles, cash and watches were among the many assets seized by authorities. The High Court determined that these items, totaling €2.7 million, were linked to illegal activities. Liam's property was repossessed and sold in 2021 for €400,000, but it is now abandoned and empty, with boarded-up windows and doors surrounded by overgrown vegetation. After facing setbacks from the Kinahan Hutch feud and the Criminal Assets Bureau, Liam fled to the UK in 2019, settling in Birmingham near his brother-in-law Thomas Bomber Kavanagh, a key figure in both the Byrne and Kinahan operations. Bomber, once a leader in the cartel's UK operations, was sentenced to 21 years in prison in March 2022 for drug importation. Liam then assumed control of Kinahan's UK operations alongside Sean McGovern. Liam was identified by the Criminal Assets Bureau as a top figure in Irish organised crime. In an unexpected development, Liam was captured on the island of Mallorca and deported from Spain to the UK to stand trial for allegedly trafficking firearms to other criminal groups. In addition to potentially upending the Dublin branch of the Kinahan Cartel, this event signifies the end of his dominance in the criminal underworld. Byrne's fortune appeared to have finally changed when heavily armed police arrested him during a secretive visit to the Spanish resort. He was detained while dining with his family at a restaurant on the island in early June, having lived openly in Dubai for several years before embarking on a European vacation. The gun-related charges in Britain mark the first gang-related accusations Byrne has encountered after a 2-decade ascent to the pinnacle of Ireland's drug trade. Now, at 43 years old, this notorious criminal, who has managed to evade capture for years, faces the possibility of a lengthy prison sentence. The Byrne organised crime gang has established itself as a significant player in Ireland's criminal underbelly, infamous for their engagement in drug trafficking and acts of violence. Their strong ties with the Kinahan Cartel have reinforced their status in the criminal world, allowing them to exploit the cartel's family connections for their benefit. Authorities suspect that Byrne and his crew have been instrumental in a string of murders and attacks aimed at the Hutch family and their associates following the Regency incident. As the Criminal Assets Bureau intensified its efforts, Byrne fled to the UK, where he is thought to have taken on the role of second-in-command within the Kinahan Cartel, following his associate Thomas Bomber Kavanagh. Intelligence reports indicated that Byrne had somewhat separated himself from the higher ranks of the cartel operating in the Middle East. He allegedly formed his own criminal organisation, reportedly involved in the trafficking of firearms and drugs. The UK's National Crime Agency was investigating Byrne's activities, while also looking into the criminal assets of Thomas Bomber Kavanagh. Moreover, Byrne was accused of making threats against various individuals in England, including a property developer and several business leaders. His most significant charge, however, was his role in leading a criminal group that trafficked weapons within the UK. Reports suggest that Byrne's organisation procured handguns and submachine guns designed to avoid detection and hinder police investigations, which they then sold to other criminal groups. The operation was extensive, with one group reportedly ordering 14 firearms in a single transaction. The capture of Liam Byrne represented a major blow to the Kinahan Cartel, further intensified by the prior arrest of another cartel associate at Malaga Airport. Jack Kavanagh, the 22-year-old son of Bomber Kavanagh, was apprehended while travelling from Dubai to Turkey. Both Byrne and Kavanagh were linked to the procurement and distribution of firearms, as indicated by intercepted EncroChat communications. Byrne was ultimately sentenced to 5 years in prison. Recent events emphasize the continuous work of global law enforcement agencies to break up and dismantle organised crime syndicates. The cooperation among agencies from different countries showcases a strong commitment to ensuring that individuals are held responsible for their illegal actions, which supports the larger objective of improving public safety. And that will be all for today's video. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications for more criminal gang stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.